Welcome back to Fighter Crypto Monday. Bitcoin, a day to remember. We're back at the 200 week, very near the 200 week. That's where we are. 22. Let's get a number. The exact number 22,366 as of right now. That's kind of our next support level. Will it hold? Well, historically, it held back in 2018. It held back in relatively held back in the pandemic drop, right? But regardless, we're there now. So are we going to hold within the next few percent, or are we going to do a first time ever and close decisively under the 20 week? This move right here was 30%, roughly 30% under the 200 week, right? So if we did that again, where would that number be? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look. See. So 30% roughly under here is going to take us, if we repeated, right, 15K. Obviously, it's not going to repeat exactly. Could go a little bit under. Doesn't have to go under at all. Are we going to reverse right as we hit it? Are we going to bounce? Are we going to, just hold like we did back in 2018, right? We hit down here and then just kind of hung out down here for, a couple months. So could we do that again? Of course. Is that likely? I think that's probably the most likely scenario. After, losing so much momentum, right? We've only been about 30 weeks in, right? Since that top 30 with 31 bars, 31 weeks. Bitcoin is down, over 66%. So will we bounce here or we go lower? Anyone's guess is good. But that's the next logical support, and we're dropping as we speak. We're at fresh local lows, every word that comes out of my mouth. So I would look for at least kind of some temporary support right in there. If we lose that, you're kind of out of levels, right? Your next level's got to be you're looking at like 20K here, but we didn't spend much time there, right? Where's your time you spent the most at? Well, really, right down here around 12K. As terrible as that is, I mean, there's how many touch points, right? That's the level with the most support. There's several weeks right there. There's several weeks right there, several weeks right there. So I mean, like it or not, that's the heavy support just based on TA alone. 20K, great. If we get it, okay. There's a couple weeks, right? Maybe a wick, a close, and then maybe a couple here. Sure. I'll give you that for light support, but your heavy support is right in there. Just based on TA alone, not my opinion. Just based on that chart, that's hard to argue with. So we will see what we end up doing. Obviously, this is the next logical place. So anyone's guess is as good as the next at this point. However, we do have maybe a silver lining here because we have the 21 week crossing the 100 week. And we've talked about this before, that when that happens, historically going back to 2014, the bottom is in during that week that it crosses. So is that this week or is it next week, right? Again, we don't know yet. We haven't crossed officially yet, but we're damn close, right? We got to see the yellow cross under, and it could take the rest of this week to do. But historically, when that happens, going back again several times between now all the way back to 2014, when the 21 week the yellow crosses the blue, the bottom is in, right? We can go look real quick. If you missed those other videos, right? So let's go look, right? The yellow cross the blue. Is the bottom in? Yes, it's actually that very week. And then 2014, you got to go back on the BLX. I'll save you some time, but it happened again. Same time, same reason, right? So we'll see if that ends up holding true, or a first time for everything, and we're going way down yonder. We will see. So time will tell. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are we going to bounce here? Are we going to go down here, or is that impossible? We will see. Also, Celsius, if you haven't heard, Celsius has got all our money. I have a majority of my crypto in there as well, and they're not letting it go, at least for the foreseeable future. You can't even add more in. You can't take any out. You can't transfer. You can do nothing. So I thought I'd point this out because maybe a lot of you have heard that, but maybe you haven't seen this. So looking at a month ago, May 17th, right? May 17th. It said it was worth almost 12 billion in assets, right? Okay. I invite you to go look at the Celsius token and see how much that's down since that said date, right? So May 17th was just this week, right? We're down over almost 90% since that came out. So let that sink in, right? So maybe they have more than just their Celsius token, but being down 90% in their own token since this article was published here tells me they got a little bit less than that, right? And then they also have over 8 billion in loans. So this is why they're not letting it out. I'm guessing they don't have enough to pay out, right? If everybody decided to cash out, they don't have enough collateral to, subsidize all this. So they also have over 1 million customers. So myself included, let me know in the comments if your money is trapped as well. Yeah, it's our own damn fault. Obviously, everything in the world, good or bad, is your own fault. So you made it. You made the decision to put it there. So whatever. So that's my 2 cents, or that's pretty much all I got. And speaking of that, we might be able to lease one of these if Celsius never recovers. Because guess what? If they don't come out of this, neither will we. So that is the car of the day. That's all we deserve. Quote of the day. I've never in my life learned anything from a man who agreed with me. So do you agree or disagree that Bitcoin is going to bounce at the 20 week or going to, 12K? We'll see. All right. I'll see you on the next video if we're all still alive by then.